Don't feel guilty. You're not the only one who ran away. Let's talk about that on today's 10-Minute Talk. Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's 10-Minute Talk. My name is Pastor Jay Wentworth. I'm the lead pastor here at Spirit of Life Church in Yakima, Washington. And if it's your first time watching one of these videos, please subscribe and watch our channel. We do these videos every Monday. And of course, we have our church services on here every Sunday. Hey, glad you're with us today. Today, I want to tell you a story, or actually, I'm just reading it from the Bible. From Mark 9, and it's one of my favorite Bible stories, and I'll get to the point of why we're talking about that story after I read it. So today, which I'm not accustomed to, we're going to start right off the top with just reading the scripture. It's a little long this week, so bear with me. Here we go. We're going to Mark 9, 2 through 7. Here we go. And after 6 days, Jesus took with him Peter and James and John and led them up a high mountain by themselves. And he was transfigured before them, and his clothes became radiant, intensely white, as no one on earth could bleach them. And there appeared to them Elijah with Moses, and they were talking with Jesus. And Peter said to Jesus, "Rabbi, it is good that we are here. Let us make 3 tents, one for you, and one for Moses, and one for Elijah." For he did not know what to say, for they were terrified. And a cloud overshadowed them, and a voice came out of the cloud, "This is my beloved Son. Listen to him." So if you can imagine yourself at this scene, first of all, you're already with Jesus. So bar none, there's nothing that compares to that. And then you go up to this mountain, you climb up there. Maybe you know why you're climbing up there. Maybe you don't. Maybe you have no idea what's going on. Kind of seems like they had no idea what was going on. All of a sudden, boom, Jesus, like superpower mode, all white, glowing, who knows what that looked like. It's just not described in that much detail, but it's the whitest thing they've ever seen. It's bright, it's pure light, basically. And then they also see Elijah and Moses, and they're talking. And, nervously, Peter says something awkward. This is the most human situation, right? Hey, let's put up tents for you guys. It's such an awkward thing to say in that situation. And like it says, he was afraid. He wasn't sure what to say. And then God's voice shows up and says this awesome thing. "This is my beloved Son. Listen to him." Listen to what he's saying. And from then on, you would think to yourself, okay, they know for sure that this is the Son of God. This is the Messiah. This is Jesus. We should do everything he says. We should listen to everything he says. And yet, friends, not too long after this, Peter denies Jesus. And they watch Jesus die and they doubt. So here's the whole point of this, friends. It's a long way to get to this point. If Peter and James and John can literally see the spirits of Elijah and Moses and literally hear the voice of God say, "This is my Son, listen to him," and still have doubts and still deny him out of pride, then maybe, just maybe, when you walked away from Jesus, it wasn't as bad as you think. Because if they can see that and still walk away, if they can follow Jesus every day, not just follow him like we follow him, but intimately, in person with him, see him perform miracles, and still deny him in the face of discomfort, in the face of danger, then maybe, just maybe, you should give yourself a little grace when you doubt. Maybe, just maybe, you should give yourself a little grace for that time you walked away. Or maybe you're in a season right now where you have kind of distanced yourself from the church or Jesus because something happened that just made you uncomfortable, or something happened that was really hard, or it's a huge burden on your schedule, or you're just not sure about your belief anymore. You're not sure how deeply you really feel about this thing, or you have questions you don't know the answers to and you're afraid or nervous or embarrassed to ask them. Maybe, just maybe, you not only should give Jesus another chance, but give yourself another chance. Because a lot of times what happens is when we walk away, we figure, well, they're not going to want me back anyway. Jesus isn't going to want me back anyway. I'm not good enough anyway. Oh, friends, you so are. Because you can walk as far away as from here to the ends of the earth, and Jesus is still with you. He's still looking for you. And all he wants you to do is turn around and seek him. That's it. Find him again. Look for yourself in him again. He will give you that grace, because the same goes the other way. If he's willing to give grace to these gentlemen who were with him the whole time and yet somehow still doubted him, which to so many of us would be the hugest insult ever, that somebody saw you do all these amazing things and work so hard and follow and do these things and say they would follow you forever and then just straight up deny you. If they did that to us, we'd be so upset. We might never speak to them again. And yet Jesus comes back to these gentlemen after he dies and tells them how much he loves them and spends time with them and says, you're still my disciples, and still has a calling for them. The greatest calling, the Great Commission. And so he still, guess what? Even if you're doubting right now, even if for some reason somebody else did something to you or you made a bad decision, he still has a calling for you. He still has a place for you. You can't go far away enough. I don't care what you've done. I don't care where you are now, and neither does Jesus. There is grace for you. I want you to remember that, friends, and I want you to stop telling yourself that you can't do it, that you can't come back. Because Jesus isn't saying that to you. You're saying it to yourself, and the enemy is saying it to you. So first, what I want you to do is remember when you had those moments. Those moments where you felt the Spirit move, those moments where you felt Jesus in your life, those moments where you saw prayers answered, those moments that even in the difficulties of life, somehow things still worked out for the best. Those moments where you associated yourselves with those people who were filled with the love of Christ. And if you don't have any of those moments in the history of your relationship with Jesus or your relationship with the church, I will still urge you to try again. Find a church home. Find Jesus in your life. And don't ever think that because you denied him, because you walked away, you can't come back. Because it's just not true. You can always come back to Christ. He will always still love you. He loves you even when you don't come back, but he also allows you to make your choice to walk away. So please, don't be like these guys in this example. Remember what Jesus did for you and allow yourself the grace to come back to him and lay in his open arms. Allow him to hug you and hold you because he loves you. Now, a little nerdy tidbit that has nothing to do with what I just said. And I usually don't end like this, but this is such a cool thought. So Elijah and Moses and Jesus are on this mountaintop. And in scripture, we see God talking to Moses on a mountaintop, Elijah on a mountaintop, and Jesus on a mountaintop just happens to be, we think, the same mountaintop. What if he was actually talking to all of them at the same exact time? Because God is outside of time. So even though in a human sense they were in 3 different times at the same place, what if God brought them all together and talked to them all at once at the same place and time? What a beautiful thought that God transcends time like that, isn't it? And that's just the thing, friends. It might seem like it's been forever since you've connected with God, but to him it's just a blink of an eye, and he remembers you fondly. Take the time to go back. Love you, friends. Have a good day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.